The first live on the channel, so welcome. Today we're focusing on real estate because on this channel we talk about habits. This is the domino effect, and outside of the mindset habits that we focus on, there are habits that we need to employ in business as well. So, what do we mean by that? Well, in your business you are, especially if you're in real estate, you need leads, right? You need lead flow. That is a huge thing for agents, or if you're, no matter if you're cold calling, if you're purchasing leads doing like paid ads, or if you're getting organic traffic, which is what you should be doing simultaneously. But a lot of agents tend to get confused, right? Where do I start? If you're getting leads through your brokerage, well, that is okay, right? But it's good to know exactly what that all entails. So, a portal or a website that is provided to you by your brokerage typically is everything, so is everything attached to it. They own it. They also own everything attached to it, meaning they own the leads, they own the traffic, they own that site. So if you were to step away from the brokerage, I've talked with agents who have been locked out of their sites, who have lost entire book of businesses. So that's hundreds of thousands of dollars when you think about that. You know, you think about that, you've got, if you've got 15 closable clients in a system at 3% commission each. I mean, what is that? That's 225. Is that 225,000? 225,000. You know, if your average price of a home is $500,000, that's quite a lot, and the brokerage is not going to let that go. Nothing against the brokerage, that's just business. So a lot of agents will some are unaware of it, but others that are aware of it, a lot of agents will go with some of the materials that a brokerage provides, right? Because when you're using a brokerage provided sites, they will provide you leads. But what happens? So today's live was prompted by a conversation that I had with a client who is with a company called Compass. So Compass is huge, right? And they've recently partnered with Luxury Presence. Luxury Presence is a company. I just realized I'm not using the microphone, so let me plug this in. I want you guys to actually hear me. And this is live, y'all. So this is what happens when we go live. But of course, as we grow, we'll get better, and go from there. So all right, so we're all amped up here and ready to go. So anyway, Luxury Presence partners with Compass. Compass is a brokerage. The way that it is designed, okay, Luxury Presence is a marketing company. It's a tech platform for agents. The way that it is designed is, if the brokerage is going to give you a site, I've talked with agents who keep telling me, oh, I've got a free site through Compass. I've got a free site through my brokerage. You technically, it depends on the brokerage, but if you're with Compass, it's not a free site, because at what cost, right? If you're typically doing a split, which is like any other brokerage, right? You're typically going to do a split, but if you're going to pay fees for the website, then the website should work for you. See my point here? If you're going to pay for something, it should drive. If you're going to purchase a car, it should drive, right? It should not, you shouldn't buy a car and there be no engine in it. So you want to make sure that you are aware of, okay, even if I do decide to go with a free site through my brokerage, what am I sacrificing? Well, you are sacrificing presence in your market. And it's because they have a lot of agents. They can't build it out for each agent's market. That will cost quite a lot of money. So that's up to you, right? It's up to you to build your own brand. And most agents and top successful agents will do that. They still, excuse me, they'll still utilize the logo on their website, but they step outside of that and build the generic templates and build their own website. And that's because Google cannot rank, well, it likes everything coming from one source. So if you have generic templates, if you're using third-party plugins, things like that, it's working against you, essentially. So you're just throwing money away, and we don't want to throw money away. So the whole point of today's live is to give you some clarity on which platform that you should be going with. Now, if you do decide to go with a site like Compass, they have tools within it that a lot of agents do like. So there's some training things that are in there. This is what I've heard from other agents. But again, remember, it has a poor SEO foundation, so you're not going to rank for any of the areas that you service. If you don't have any community pages built out, Google cannot actually differentiate you from all of the agents that are pulling from that MLS. So you want to make sure that you can control that and step outside of the thinking of, well, this is actually a free site through my brokerage. It's technically not free. You are paying some type of fee for it. Or if you're not paying the fee, some agents have a sweetheart deal where they actually do get the site for free. They don't have to make any type of fees for it, or any type of franchise fees or anything like that. But there is an agreement that gets put in place. So you're in a contract for typically a year or so. You have to keep the documents. And in that case, I would just question then, right? You're bound for a year, and at that point that the site is not working for you. It's essentially just a landing page. So be advised that you know what you're walking into, because if you are going to invest into a website, there's really only two types of websites, right? Ones that actually show up, that validate you. It's like a landing page. And then there's websites that show up, validate you, and actually drive traffic to the site, bring new business to you. So you're out there building those relationships, those referrals. You want to make sure that you have a site that's simultaneously working for you. You don't want it to just sit there. So, and if you do, you might as well just get a free site. There's no point in investing hundreds of dollars into a platform like that. And in the event you do get a free site, you could go with something like a WordPress platform. But again, it is a generic template, and Google does, wants to see your site amped up and standing out from the rest. You want to provide fresh, relevant, unique content on the site, and you sacrifice a lot of that when you're using a brokerage provided platform. So if you found this video helpful, then go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you leave any questions that you have. And also, I'm curious to hear about what your experiences are with any of the other platforms too. Remember, this was our first live. So we'll continue to be doing informational sessions like this, because there's a ton of updates. There's a ton of information out there. There's a lot of new tools and bells and whistles, CRM systems, lead platforms. So we have a lot to cover here. So make sure, if you're interested in anything like that, that you're subscribing to the channel and tuning in next time. See ya. How does this stop?